Belmar inspired? Is that what this is? Oh, is this? Oh, this guy. This guy goes on like Luke Belmar. This guy goes on like. Is that what? Is that who this guy is? Belmar. This guy will go on like literally like he'll go on like he'll go on like. Oh, look at this! Look at this! He's pointing at his this finger to the to the temple. That's one of their symbols. And then the circle. They like to put themselves in a circle. That's often part of their symbolism too. It represents a lot of things like infinity, the Ouroboros, and also enclosing the knowledge. Like the hidden knowledge is enclosed in the circle. Anyway, let's see what this guy says. Is this guy supposed to be Christian or something? Capital Club. Capital Club. Welcome, fellow glitch. Look at his thumbnails. This guy barely has any videos. Yeah. Yeah, he's an Andrew Tate guy. That's what I was thinking of. That's the guy I was thinking of. He's that kind of person, I bet you he probably rolls with Andrew Tate sometimes, Wicked, dude. I guess we should watch the shorts. Oh, the Capital Club logo is 33. Wow. Is that what that is? Oh, 33. Oh, sick. These guys are sickos, man. Yeah, he's that kind of person, I don't know too much about this guy, but yeah, he does seem to be like a Tate type. Let's see this one.
Quick crypto security live stream. So if in the next, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, you desire to be in crypto in any way, shape, or form, let's do a crypto security live stream. Fire emoji. If you guys want me to jump right into it, we'll get into it. We'll talk about how you have to kind of position yourself to be safe during the entire kind of crypto ecosystem being absolute bullshit. So what happens, and what I mean by bullshit, is the fact that now you've entered a situation whereby cryptocurrency allows you to hold on to your own keys, which means now you have to be a safekeeper of your money. So as a safekeeper of your money, you have to protect yourself. So let's get to it. Very simple. The next 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes are going to be about crypto security. Okay.
Anyway, Capital Club is CC, so that's 33 as well, right? This guy's just a Freemason scumbag. But anyway, let's look at this one. Luke Belmar reveals his opinion on Jesus.
You say you're a follower of Jesus. What do your prayers look like?
Jesus teaches us how to pray, and it's called the Lord's Prayer.
You know what, dude? I looked up a video where the guy, another Freemason scumbag, was examining this guy, and I looked at it. So I'm gonna post it soon. I'll clip it and post it. But yeah, we did check it out. Let's see this thing.
You say you're a follower of Jesus. What do your prayers look like?
Jesus teaches us how to pray, and it's called the Lord's Prayer. And inside the Lord's Prayer, so Jesus tells you how to.
So this hand stuff, he's doing weird stuff with his hands as well. I just want to see like what's going on in this room. Maybe these are the two pillars, these two bottles here on the thing. Nothing is in the shot by accident, remember. Nothing is in the shot by accident, okay? Like, I don't want to look into everything, but this is like a Mary thing here. That's weird because this whole thing is weird. But anyway, let's let it go.
He teaches you how to live an incredible life. So he teaches you how to pray. So it's like you have a
Jesus teaches you how to live an incredible life. That's what Jesus came to do. To teach you how to live an incredible life. What a complete joke.
Live an incredible life. So he teaches you how to pray. So it's like you have a relationship with Jesus. Okay, perfect. Well, who was Jesus praying to? He was praying to the Father. Okay, well, so you pray to the Father. Okay, and what did he pray? Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So blessing God first. Give us today our daily bread. So just give me what I need. Everything else is abundance. May your will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. So whatever your purpose is, let it be manifested on earth. Forgive us as we forgive those that trespass against us. So God will give you in proportion to how you treat others. Jesus.
No, that's not what it said. That's not what it said. But he's trying to say that, like, if you treat others well, then God will just give you exactly what you gave to other people. That's not what
Manifested on earth.
So forgive people, and God will forgive you. It's not about what he's going to give you if you give people stuff.
Give us as we forgive those that trespass against us. So God will give you in proportion to how you treat others. Jesus teaches you how to live, teaches you how to pray.
Right.
My communication.
See, this guy's, why does he got his hand like that, you know? That's a weird thing to do with your hand too. Sitting there like that with your hand like that. Anyway.
Jesus teaches you how to live, teaches you how to pray. My communication with God, my communication with what I believe to be the source of divinity is the request.
What I believe to be the source of divinity. He's talking about Jesus, right? And then he's like, oh, my communication with God with what I believe is the source of divinity. No, Jesus Christ is the source of divinity. And you don't know him. That's why you're wicked.
My communication with God, my communication with what I believe to be the source of divinity is the request for discernment and wisdom. When you ask God for something, he'll give it to you. The request for discernment and wisdom.
So I don't even know what he's talking about. It's so dumb. This is so dumb. But this whole thing is all Freemasonic too. See how the squares. And then when you make the squares like that, like when they do that, right? What that is like they'll have to do like a diamond. Well, they make the square, they'll turn the square 45 degrees, and then it's like a diamond, right? Because that represents the idea that it's like hidden knowledge. That if you just turn it, then it becomes a square, then it becomes stable. But as it is, it's unstable. It's like, you know? So they'll always do that. Oh, it's an octagon. Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Lots of things with this table, bro. The squares all cut up with these weird things in it. That's part of their symbolism. But the fact that it's an octagon is also very mind control-y and stuff. All these masks, these are pagan. These are pagan sacred objects, you know? They don't put them there for no reason. This thing is some kind of pagan weird stuff too. I don't know what that is, but this whole thing is weird.
When you ask God for something, he'll give it to you because he says he'll give it to you. Knock, and it shall be answered unto you. Seek, and you shall find. It's not seek and maybe you will find.
Yeah.
No, you will find. You may find something that
he's trying to turn it into prosperity gospel. Seek the Lord and you will find him. Seek righteousness and you will find it. He's not saying seek and you shall find the things you want in this world, like money and power, like this idiot.
Seek and maybe you will find.
Yeah.
No, you will find. You may find something that you weren't looking for, though. You may ask for patience, and God may give you a really hard situation that'll teach you patience. He may not give you patience automatically. You may ask God for strength, and he might put you through a really tough, tumultuous situation to help you develop strength. So God may give you what you want, but not in the form that you ask for it, which is really interesting because God tends to work that way. But in the pain, we're carved. In the success.
You know what? To call them a heretic is too kind to them. Typical. A heretic is like, usually a heretic is one of our brethren that went off into a bad theology. To call this guy a heretic is like complimenting him more than he deserves, you know?
Success and in the pleasure, we tend to get arrogant. We tend to get blinded. So my relationship with God was one where I surrendered myself to the idea of truth. I had a conversation with God once, and this is when my life changed completely. I said, God, I today surrender everything to you. my relationships, my business, my money, myself, my mindset, my belief system for the pursuit of truth. If you show me truth, I promise you, I will follow it.
I'm telling you, this guy's
And you
doing
follow-
weird hand signs too. Like a lot of time, I think of these guys, their whole hand motion is like choreographed, you know, or a lot of it, or like they'll do like 100 hand signs in a 5-minute video. We don't even realize half of them, you know.
Follow the truth continues to show itself to you. To whom much is given,
I think
much
it's
is
like
required.
I think it's like because like yeah, they want to get you into Christianity, but it's their version, which is a false version, right? And then their false version of Christianity probably is some kind of like world religion, you know, something where they admit Muslims and stuff like that. Oh yeah. So big, dude.
So if God's going to give you a lot of resources, talent, he's going to expect a lot from that. So you have to develop into those things. And then God starts giving you things. And then you begin to read people like Solomon when he talks about Lamentations in the book of Lamentations, that everything is a vanity of vanities. He has 1,000 women. He has palaces, he has kingdoms. He says it's not worth it. Okay. Then in the book of Ecclesiastes, he says from dust to dust. You know, you came from the dust, you will go back to the dust. The king is the same skeletal build out than the peasant. It doesn't really matter. So you begin to listen to the wisdom. And then you begin to understand.
You know, what is this? This finger on the thing like that? I'm telling you, that looks weird. That looks Freemasonic too. I'm not too sure about all
And
this.
then
See that? See the way this guy's he's been sitting like that for like a few minutes now, you know? But like the finger to the thing like that is weird, dude. Anyway.
you begin to understand the words of Jesus, where he says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So everybody says, do you believe in God? No. Because Jesus doesn't say, believe and you will be free. It says, know the truth. And what does Jesus say that he is? The way, the truth, and the life. So if he's the truth, following him will lead to freedom. So if I believe that to be true, then the job is to be a follower of Jesus. And by following Jesus, you obtain freedom. And following means following. It doesn't mean you do what
Yeah, this table is a triangle and it has the 2 pillars on it, right? This whole thing is weird, dude.
you want 82% of the time, and then 18% of the time, Jesus is a lucky charm that you tap into.
See, 22 and 18, right? 22 is like 11. 11 is one of their big numbers. So they like 22 because it's like double of 11. And then he said 18. 18 is 6 times 3. So it's 666.
Following. It doesn't mean you do what you want 82% of the time, and then 18% of the time, Jesus is a lucky charm.
Oh, sorry. 82 versus 18. My bad. So he didn't say 22 before. He said 18. 18 is definitely one of the things. 82 would be 10 when you add it. So that might be something to do with like rebirth or something, because they'll have to use 10 as a number of rebirth.
82% of the time, and then 18% of the time, Jesus is a lucky charm that you tap into for good benevolence and luck. Doesn't work that way, because God isn't a luck charm. It doesn't work that way. And then it's understanding that the rain falls on the just and the unjust.
If we sit here and analyze this whole thing, I'm telling you, man, there's probably tons of stuff here. Anyway, it's weird.
What this means is that good times and good situations and bad times and bad situations don't just happen to good or bad people. Everybody experiences pain. Everybody experiences good things in life. But inside of these experiences, your goal is to not lose yourself. People pursue money. They gain all these things. But what does a man gain, right? Or what does a man profit if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul in the process? Gains nothing. He lost the game. He missed the point.
Yeah.
He missed the point. So when I think about wisdom, I think about Jesus. I think about how he treats people. I think about how he treats women in a time where women were disdained, were thought of as property, where he talks about, looking upon another woman that isn't your own. It's just.
By the way, women weren't thought of as property in the Hebrew culture, okay? It's not the case. Keep going.
As bad as adultery. Being angry at your neighbor is just as bad as murder. So he sets a completely new standard for what it means.
They'll never preach the true gospel, bro. Their purpose is to confuse people so that people won't believe the true gospel.
Yeah? Achieve excellence. And he says, hey, you know what? You can't do it. So how do you do it? And then you begin to read what the development of the spiritual journey is. And there's something that one encounters known as the fruits of the Spirit. You often hear
all these photographs here. It's like architectural photos, right? These are all like these are probably all symbolic of their architecture, Freemason architecture and stuff.
The comment, like you shall know them by their fruits, or you shall know them by their actions. Actions speak louder than what?
Words.
Correct. So by the actions, you will see what they are. A lemon tree cannot produce apples because it would be an apple tree. So
Romans 10:9-13. No, it's not, man. It's not salvation from hell. It's salvation from judgment in this life. That's what he's talking about there. Salvation from hell, Paul talks about that in Romans 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Learn your Bible.
It doesn't matter how many times the lemon tree identifies as an apple tree. If it produces lemons, it's a lemon tree. So if you call yourself a Christian, it doesn't matter what you say. What does your life reflect? If you call yourself a follower of Jesus, it doesn't matter what you say. What does your life reflect? And it's all about the fruits, the results. Faith without works is dead. Talk about faith in action. But there's these fruits of the Spirit. So it's like, okay, well, you have this transformation. You're becoming a better person. You're getting closer to God, which makes you, develops you and takes out all the toxicity inside of you. And you begin to hear about what are these fruits. Fruits are, we're talking about these manifestations that come out. And you have something called the fruit of the Spirit. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faith, gentleness, self-control. These are the things that come, that naturally are birthed.
The pillars are it's like Jachin and Boaz, right? In the front of the Temple of Solomon. So, but they use it to represent like male and female or like duality, basically. And so their great work is to unite the pillars, That's why when they took down the Twin Towers, they put one tower, the Freedom or the Peace Tower, whatever it's called. Oh, is that what you think? No, well, that's not what he's talking about there. And that doesn't even say that. That's not what it says. Why would you think this? Is that what it says in Romans 10:9-13? It doesn't say that. It says to confess and believe, right? But you're saying that you have to ask Jesus into your life and make him your Lord and Savior. That's not what Romans 10-13 says, or 10:9-13. So why are you saying this? Why are you saying something that's not in the Bible and then referring to the Bible to prove it? The Bible doesn't say this, but you're saying this. Why? Have you thought about that, Michael T? Have you thought about why you're saying something that's not in the Bible and you're using a Bible reference to try to prove your point? Have you thought about that?
Right? The good things are birthed from a relationship with God, not from forced. So when people are like, oh, you have to work hard to be a good person. No. You have to be transformed, like Jesus says, and like Paul talks about in the New Testament, by the renewal of your mind. You're not transformed by going to church and listening to the pastor talk to you about what God says. No. You're transformed by the renewal of your mind. So by renewing your mind.
Oh, did he say that? Did he say make him Lord of your life? Oh, this guy said it, right? Make him your Lord and Savior. Come on, man. Anyway, let's hear what this
says. And like Paul talks about in the New Testament, by the renewal of your mind. You're not transformed by going to church and listening to the pastor talk to you about what God says. No. You're transformed by the renewal of your mind. So by renewing your mind, you get transformed. How do you renew your mind? Wisdom. What is wisdom? Knowledge put into practice. Concepts manifested in the three-dimensional realm into action that determines whether you took the intelligence or the knowledge and you applied it towards giving you a better outcome in life. And when you apply wisdom, then the outcome, the reverberating effect or the echo or the feedback
This
is
is
truth.
just like the reverberating effect of the outcome of your wisdom. It's like what do you call that thing? Like The Secret and stuff like that. Like when they try to say, oh, we can manifest things into our lives by, yeah, it's new age. It's new age stuff. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
And you get to decipher whether something is real or not. It's called the scientific method. Science is the exploration
The scientific
of truth.
method. The scientific method, dude. That's what that is. Reverberating off the.
And when you apply wisdom, then the outcome, the reverberating effect or the echo or the feedback is truth.
Yeah.
And you get to decipher whether something is real or not. It's called the science.
So you know, you guys have probably heard of The Secret and those kind of weird things, right? But within Christianity, they have this thing called the New Thought movement where they're trying to push basically the same thing, like The Secret or like kind of like manifesting things and stuff, right? So they try to push it through the churches. Wicked.
Scientific method. Science is the exploration of truth. The scientific method is what? Yeah. Observation, hypothesis, thesis, analysis, testing, cross-testing, and coming down to a conclusion, and then optimizing. That's what we do with truth. It's the process of the scientific method. Science is one of the most spiritual things in the world. It's a combination of understanding that we're just pursuing truth. And you talk about
science and spiritual now. This guy is just completely just yapping. This is a bunch of nonsense, man. So dumb.
Whether it's theology, whether it's with philosophy, like what is Philos? What is philosophy? People talk, you see all these philosophy channels. Well, what is Philos? Philosophy. Philos means wisdom. Philosophy is the study of wisdom. How do you?
You know, philosophy actually means the love of wisdom, eh? So, Sophia.
Study wisdom. How? That needs to be discovered, because if wisdom is what inclines you towards better choices in life, then the pursuit isn't to make better choices. The pursuit is to find what? Wisdom that will change you from the inside out, and that manifestation and that change will reflect into a new life.
Yeah, man. They're propping up a lot of these influencers and stuff. As I'm telling you, most of these influencers are not just randoms who came up on YouTube. They're created by the system. They're put in place. Confronting Luke Belmar and his controversial beliefs. In the thumbnail, the guy's touching his temple. Wicked.
Okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike and Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you want to support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shills. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike and Pat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.